All right, it says we live. Let me check the feed real quick. Shalom out there.
Shalom.
I'm just checking the feed. Bear with us one moment. We'll get started. Just want to keep you all informed out there, man. Hopeful elect, man. There you go. All right, we live. All right, shalom, shalom. All right, we are the brothers of Great Millstone, Charlotte, back at you with another live lesson. The spirit power, Yahweh Shemel Shah. Before we get started, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom to the elect. All right, back at you with another live lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. Just want to get into this topic here. We entitled this show Corporate Coercion, right? And the digital transition of payments. All right. And everything about this this image of the beast, this new system that's being put into play is coming into fruition. All right. Brothers been going into this for the past months. They're rolling this thing out slowly but surely, man. It's happening. As we know, the big event, everybody's getting ready to, witness the collapse of the dollar bill, the society pretty much imploding, crashing down. And that's really what we're waiting on because according to the will of the Lord, the will of Yahweh Shemel Shai, according to prophecy, this sea hit has to be made mandatory. All right. That's one thing we do know. And the brother was just introducing me to the corporate how you say the word, Salakia?
Coercion.
Explain it for me a little bit.
God. So with coercion, we'll start there with that word. Coercion is pretty much the act of coercion pursuant to the Free Dictionary. It goes into government by force. It goes into also to force someone's hand, to pressure someone into taking a stand or revealing his beliefs or intentions, to compel someone to act immediately and against his will. It also goes into to put the squeeze on someone and to pressure another for one's own purpose, to demand payment or performance by means of harassment or threats. Now, when we think about corporate coercion in reference to the digital transition, right? These companies, they are under the footstool of these elites, all right?
Right.
So their whole MO, which we're going to go into, is to push the agenda of the elites by any means, okay? To coerce the masses of the people to accept certain practices and indoctrinate them to new ideas, all right? So that when the time does come, all right, that transition, you're ultimately already aware of it and you'll be fully pretty much forced into that program.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's that new system that's going to be enforced upon the world. All right. As we're going to get into. So we're going to stop and go on this clip, real quick and edify, Lord willing, you all that's tuning in are edified in this lesson through the Spirit. So we'll get right to it. And it all makes sense. All right. Because we are the watchmen of the Lord. We are the watchmen of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and we were set up to blow the trumpet to give you the warning every day, man, of what's getting ready to happen. All right. As we go into the life that you so-called live here in Babylon is going to change on a drastic level. All right. And Jake is completely unaware of that. Okay. All your comforts are going to be removed. All right. Your way of buying and selling, you going out to get groceries, all that, man, it's going to change for the worse. Right. So we're going to give you the go ahead and bring this out. I believe the brother posted this, whose channel was, I think his channel's name, Arrows of Indignation. All right. I just reposted it on my channel here. So let's just go into it and edify, man. Enough talking here. So bear with me as I share the screen. And we'll get into it. All right. I entitled it The Hour of Temptation That Will Try the World, pursuing a Revelation, 3 and 10. All right. Let's get into it. Lord willing, you can hear it nice and clear too.
Where were you on March 9th, 2022, when President Biden signed the death warrant on American freedom? On that day, in hushed ceremony at the White House, without the approval of Congress, the states, or the American people, Biden signed into law Executive Order 14067. Buried in his order are a few paragraphs titled Section 4. The language in Section 4 makes Order 14067 the most treacherous act by a sitting president in the history of our republic, because Section 4 sets the stage for legal government surveillance of all U.S. citizens, total control over your bank accounts and purchases, and the ability to silence all dissenting voices for good. On March 26, 2022, Fox News sounded the alarm. Biden Order 14067 is a truly remarkable and deeply troubling development. If a digital dollar were to be created, it would dramatically expand the power and influence of the federal government and Federal Reserve in ways most Americans won't understand until it's too late to roll it back. With Biden bucks as our mandatory currency, it would be so easy for the government to confiscate assets and freeze accounts at will. The government doesn't want us holding on to cash. They need us spending some more to prop up their house of cards economy.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Let me read the scripture because I wanted to get in the Good News translation. I'm gonna read this real quick. All right. That's why the scripture said that buying and selling will have no meaning. All right. I'm gonna make that point in a second. Because everything's about to change. The government is gonna have total control. Esau is gonna have total control over your life, assets, money, all right, your health, what you can do, what you can't do. All right. You're going to be under total subjection in this new system. All right. Which is part of that temptation that's going to try the planet Earth. Right. But anyway, I want to read this too. This is in Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 13. And it reads, it says Ezekiel 7 and 12. And it reads, it says, the time has come, the day draweth near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof, the judgment of the Lord. Right? Verse 13, it says, for the seller should not return to that which is sold, although they were yet alive. For the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. Verse 14, Ezekiel 7 and 14, it says, they have blown the trumpet even to make already, which the prophets are out here blowing the trumpet, warning you day in and day out of what's getting ready to happen, what's getting ready to come. They have blown the trumpet even to make already, but none goeth to battle. All right. Because really, as we said, Jake is clueless of what's going to happen. All right. It says, but none goeth to battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and famine is within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, and all of them mourning, everyone for his iniquity. All hands shall be feeble, all hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. All right, because you're talking about a societal collapse, man. All right. All hands are going to be faint. All knees are going to be feeble, man. All right. People are going to be in a state of terror in that time, man. Right. It says they shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them. And shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon their heads. And right. And all these people that trusted in Egypt, as it tells you in Isaiah 30, that shame and confusion is going to cover them. All right. It says the point here, verse 19, it says, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. That's the money. All right. It's going to be worthless. And their silver and their gold should not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. Yahweh Shema Washai, they shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Now I want to read verses 12 and 13 again in the Good News real quick, right? Just to make the point. All right. Make it clear here. And feel free to chime in anytime. But this is back in Ezekiel 7 and verse 12 in the Good News translation. I'm going to read this here. So it says Ezekiel 7 and verse 12, Good News translation, and it reads, it says, the time is coming, the day is near when buying and selling will have no more meaning. You see what I'm saying? What is this cash going to do when they crash the economy? Right? What value, what worth is it going to have? Go ahead, Salakia.
No, I was just adding to you. It ain't gonna have no value.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be just like how it is in Venezuela.
Con. It says the time is coming, the day is near when buying and selling will have no more meaning. It says, because God's punishment will fall on everyone alike. No merchants will live long enough to get back what they have lost. It says, because God's anger is on everyone. Those who are evil cannot survive. The trumpet blows and everyone gets ready, but no one goes off to war, for God's anger will fall on everyone alike. So the reason why I read all of that is the key point of this said that buying and selling will have no more meaning, right? The cash, all right, the money system we're in the transition of a new one, all right, and this new one is going to be controlled. Basically, it's going to control every aspect of your life, man, of your well-being, man. All right, this is what has been signed into law behind the scenes in the midst of all these various distractions, right?
Yep.
So let's go on.
So how do you stop people holding on to cash? Step one, you eliminate cash altogether with the Biden bucks digital currency. Then step two, you introduce a negative interest rate on all accounts. After all, you can program a digital currency to do anything at any time. With the negative interest rates, if you don't spend your money, it starts shrinking. Think of it this way. How do you slaughter cattle? You need to get them into a chute first, otherwise they'll all run away. Biden bucks are a digital cattle chute. You cut off access to all other forms of currency. You do away with everything except this programmable, trackable digital dollar. And then you can march us all right to the slaughterhouse. They'll control how and where you spend your money. If you don't spend it, they'll make it disappear.
The nature of money is going to change quite dramatically. The old systems of trust and of ownership will have to adapt radically.
Yeah, so like you said, these old systems, money is going to disappear. These old systems are going to have to adapt radically. All right. The change is coming fast, Jake. Okay. Yep. This is what all the ruckus and fuss is about that's going on, man. You know?
Yep.
Maybe the financial system will become so complicated as AI takes over more and more of the action that it will be just too complicated for the human mind. So how does a system functions when no human really understands it?
Thanks to Section 4 of Biden's Order 14072, ordering urgent research into developing the digital dollar, I believe the U.S. dollar, the standard of the world since 1792, will be replaced by a new currency, the digital dollar. These new electronic currencies are called CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies. I call the digital dollar Biden bucks because I want him to take full credit for what I consider to be crimes. This is not like the money in your online bank account. No, this is new and different. Every digital dollar will be a programmable token like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, but there's a big difference. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized digital currencies. Instead, if it plays out the way I see it, Biden bucks will have the full backing of the U.S. Federal Reserve. They will replace the cash, fiat dollar we have now, and will soon be the sole mandatory currency of the United States.
See, will eventually be the sole currency, or they're going to mandate it, man. Okay, all roads lead to what? To the C-hip, man. The future of payment. You got it, Salakia.
No. I was just going to add to your point. 100% what Zaquan is saying is true, because we see at the beginning of July, right, we have the Fed now that's being prepared to be unveiled, right, which is tied into the central banking digital currency. Right now, within the dollar, you have decentralized currency. So there's ways that you can exchange money and it's not traced. What they want to do is centralize everything to have direct access to know what you buy, what you spend it on, right? All of this data that they can use on the blockchain and eventually tie it into the charagma, okay, so that they can have full unadulterated control. you know, because
Absolutely.
that is this man. This is the man, the son of perdition. If I may, could I get the may I get that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. I'll just jump straight to the point
Got
because
it.
this is Esau's problem, right? He has that God complex. 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Okay, that son of perdition being Esau, Edom. All right.
Mhm.
These people that run the world are Edomites, the so-called white race. And their whole MO at the end of the day is to be able to have full unadulterated control and omnipotence. This is their vain thoughts, right? And in order for them to enact this, they want to pretty much bottleneck, as the gentleman on the screen was speaking on. They want to be able to bottleneck the masses of the people into this program.
Yes, exactly. Let's play some more.
Currencies are decentralized digital currencies. Instead, if it plays out the way I see it, Biden bucks will have the full backing of the U.S. Federal Reserve. They will replace the cash fiat dollar we have now and will soon be the sole mandatory currency of the United States. When Biden bucks are rolled out, many experts will Biden bucks. The Secret Surveillance Army has been working on this for years. The U.S. Federal Reserve has been quietly partnering with scientists at MIT to develop a digital currency to replace the dollar. They call this initiative Project Hamilton. Then this year, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, the clearinghouse for U.S. stocks, bonds, and other security trades, quietly launched Project Lithium. Project Lithium is testing how a digital dollar will work in the financial markets once the current dollar is dead. Project Lithium is partnering with the Digital Dollar Project, a joint effort started in 2020 between Accenture, U.S. regulators, and tech leaders to create the digital dollar. Then on March 29, 2022, just days after Biden's Order 14027 was signed, Representative Stephen F. Lynch introduced H.R. 7231, the Electronic Currency and Secure Hardware Act. This act, co-sponsored by 4 other Democrats, orders the Secretary of the Treasury to develop a digital dollar. I believe we'll see the first rollout of the new digital dollar, Biden bucks, in 2023 or 2024. The Gold Standard Act of 1971, when the U.S. abandoned the gold standard for good. What happened then? The dollar got destroyed, rampant inflation continued, and the power of the Federal Reserve increased dramatically. I predict the death of the dollar is the third and final currency quake, but it will be more dangerous and far-reaching than any crime that came before. If the U.S. dollar is replaced by Biden bucks spyware, I believe the government will be able to track, control, and limit your spending. The government will know all your whereabouts and habits at all times.
Yeah, so exactly what the brother Itazwam said, man. They're going to have full unadulterated control over your life, man. What you spend, where you buy, where you go, what you do. All right. This is the system that's coming into play. All right.
Yep.
Because they will know exactly where all your money is spent. The new state surveillance army will be everywhere. In history, I don't know of one example of a government with access to a citizen surveillance system that hasn't used it. Not one.
The big battle in this regard in the 21st century will be between privacy and health will win. Most people will be willing to give up their privacy in exchange for much better healthcare based on 24 hours monitoring of what's happening inside their bodies.
24 hours of monitoring what's inside their bodies. How is he going to do that? By the device that goes underneath the skin. Yep. In the name of health, as you heard, he said health will win. Yep. Right? This is what they're using. The narrative of health, the narrative of climate change, man. All right. Yep. To totally enslave your ass. Right. I got something real quick. You had a precept. You had some Axelakia.
Oh, no, I was going to add to you. You can grab your precept and then I add to it.
All right. Because he said people will basically flock to it. All right. Matter of fact, let's just replay it. Hold on. All right. Bear with me.
Win. most people will be willing to give up their privacy in exchange for much better healthcare based on 24 hours monitoring of what's happening inside their bodies.
Yeah, so people are willingly going to come and accept to be a part of this beast system, man.
Yep.
All right, as we always bring it out, Revelation 13. All right, it's Revelation 13:8, and it reads, it says, "And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him." All right, they're going to bow to this man's system. All right, that's a way of worshiping him. It says, "All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. All right, 2/3. All right, the rest of these Edomites and heathen, they're going to take part of this thing willingly. All right, having your health, your body monitored 24 hours a day, man. All right, complete control. See that? Go ahead, Ak.
God, exactly. So just to add to you right quick, because what they're trying to do with that whole situation, with them saying that, you know, people are ultimately going to select to have health over privacy, we have to remember this nigga Esau has a God complex, right? He wants to create the problem and the solution, right? So what he's going to do is he's going to create, which he's doing now, various psyops, various distractions, various false flags, events to pretty much create this chaotic system to establish an order. And he's going to make it seem that when he establishes it, it's within reason, right? Just like how what he did with the juice packet, you know? Now, if I may, I just want to grab a quick precept just to add to that.
Time, brother, go ahead.
Isaiah 29:15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us?
That's right.
Know? And that's exactly what these Edomites, this is their mindset, right? Their counsel is ultimately geared toward nothing but wickedness, man. You know, ways to enact iniquity upon the whole masses of the planet Earth, primarily you Israelites.
Yep.
Okay. And what they're trying to do is, again, they're trying to create a system of chaos in order to establish a order that is allowing them to enforce this implantable device.
Right.
And those, as Zaquan had just read in Revelations 13:8, right? If you're worshiping this beast, you're going to run down and do whatever it tells you to do, right? But the elect won't be deceived. Lord willing, we be a part of the elect.
Exactly. And can you get Psalm 73?
God, I got it.
And start at verse start at 6.
God. This is Psalm 73:6. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment.
Right, which we're seeing in this video. All right, based off this devil, Yuval. Everything he's saying, man. Pride. All right, go ahead.
Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish.
Right. So Esau's blessing was what? The fatness of the earth. All right. He literally has the world in the palm of his hand. Right. Now he wants the souls of men.
Yep.
You know, go ahead.
They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily.
Yeah, exactly. So it says they're corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully, proudly, man. Okay, he's telling you, look, man, these people are gonna willingly serve us due to the 24-hour monitoring system that's happening inside their bodies, which is going to be by that device. This is his way of playing God over humanity, man. Right? So now, as we've been going throughout the weeks, these devils that hold power, they're on the platforms boldly telling you what they plan to do to you and the planet Earth, man. Right? They're not even hiding it no more, man. They're outright telling you. All right? Yep. Go ahead, Ak.
Verse 9, they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh through the earth.
Right. They set their mouth against the heavens. Hey, everything is science is the new idol, is the new God. All right. Like he said, health is going to win. All right. They set their mouths against the heavens. All right. Because science over Yahweh Shema Shai, And it says the tongue walketh through the earth, and how he does that as well is through his media, right? That's how he's able to push forth these wicked laws and decrees, man. You know, go ahead.
Continuing on, verse 10. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them.
Go ahead.
And they say, how doth Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai know? And is there knowledge in the Most High?
Right. They say, how does Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai know? Is there any knowledge of the Most High? You know, basically mocking the Lord, because what they've been saying is, look, they surpass powers over the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care if we piss the Lord off. If the Lord makes a drought, we can make it rain. Right? He's boldly professing that he's unstoppable now.
Right.
Like, basically, who's the Most High? Like, this is his spirit, you know?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. The pride of thine heart have deceived him.
Absolutely.
The scriptures say, continuing on, verse 12, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches.
Yeah, behold, these are the ungodly. You know, these Edomites, starting with these top devils. Behold, these are the ungodly, the wicked that prosper in riches in this world, man. These are them, the elites, the ones that control the world, the resources, society, man. All right? They have their hands in absolutely everything, man. All right? The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. This is them. All right? Esau and his pretty much his goddamn minions, man.
Yep.
You know? You have something?
Nah.
I'm gonna finish it out. I just want to bring that out. I'm gonna finish it out here.
For much better healthcare based on 24 hours monitoring of what's happening inside their bodies. I guess very soon people will walk around with biometric sensors on or even inside their bodies.
Biometric sensors either on or inside their bodies. What are they telling you, man? All right. That's the grain of rice. All right. That's going to go inside the body. That's what's about to change up everything, man. That's the hour of temptation that's going to try the world. See?
And will allow Google or Facebook or the Chinese government or whoever to constantly monitor what's happening inside my body. Most people, especially when it comes to life and death situations affecting themselves or their children or their spouses, would not would take the risk. I mean, healthcare will win. And in the wake of healthcare, we'll have all the other things making use of this data. We are great. We have these wonderful high-tech companies. We make a lot of money out of it. It raises our power in the world. What can we?
Yeah, see? It raises our power in the world.
God.
You know? WHO, WF, you know, they've been given.
We've been learning about spiritual beings in the
Salakia. You know, they've been given full power. All right.
Yep.
So let's bring this article out too, just to attach to that video.
And Zaquan, if I may add before we grab that article, you know,
You got
it. Somebody out there may be watching and say, well, you know, the charagma is tied to buying and selling. How is it that this man Yuval is speaking about health and things of that nature? You have to understand that this is a part of that coercion, right? This man is sizing up the masses of the people to be able to present this as something that's beneficial to them. And he's going to do it in a manner where he's going to enforce it to where you're not going to be able to be in the markets to buy and sell, right? Just as he coerced a bunch of these people to take that jab so that they can provide for themselves, they can feed their family, right? Whatever he's trying to promote, you have to understand when the scriptures speak about the charagma, he's going to unveil this in a matter which we'll get into. He's going to unveil it through certain legislation that's passed, man. So he's sizing up the masses of the people through various psyops, false flags, various things to all get to the point where you can't buy or sell without taking that implantable device, which we're going to read right here. I just wanted to add that point.
A good point. So this is from lifesitenews.com. It says International Monetary Fund, quote, working hard on a global central bank digital currency platform. All right. Because remember, these devils got to move fast as hell. They're working hard. All right. They're getting ready to unveil this thing. It says the International Monetary Fund managing director proposed a currency that will require global governance by what one Bitcoin analysis has referred to as a group of unelected bureaucrats. All right. And as you see in the picture here, this is a picture from one of the conferences, right? A new vision, right? A new way, that transition, right? You look at it, even when you look at the platform here, what does it say? It says high-level policy roundtable, central bank digital currencies, role of the public sector, and money in payments. All right. How much more proof do you need? Right? Where is this all leading to? What are they talking about?
Yep.
Reading on. It says Rabat Morocco, the International Monetary Fund. Let's make it a little bigger, Salakia. Hold on. All right. So it says the International Monetary Fund, IMF, is, quote, working hard on a global CBDC central bank digital currency platform, the IMF managing director announced Monday. Reading on, it says, if we are to be successful, CBDCs could not be fragmented national propositions, Kristalina Georgieva said during a policy roundtable discussion with Bank Al Maghrib and Rabat, Morocco on CBDCs. Quote, to have transactions more efficient and fairer, we need systems that connect countries, right? Remember, all of these nations are involved, right? It says we need systems that connect countries. In other words, we need interoperability, she said, in reference to a global CBDC. All right. Remember, it's a global system, a global payment system. It says, quote, for this reason, at the IMF, we are working hard on the concept of a global CBDC platform to trade and to manage risk, she continued. Georgieva touted CBDCs as, quote, giving more people access to financial services at a lower cost, enhancing payment system efficiency and resilience, and making cross-border payments cheaper, quote, cheaper and quicker, while reducing the number of needed intermediaries. Last paragraph here. It says she cautioned, however, that, quote, easy access to foreign CBDCs could lead to risk of currency substitution and capital flow volatility, suggesting that the global CBDC would enhance international economic stability, a goal the IMF tasked itself with promoting, she noted in a press release statement on the roundtable discussion. So you can speak on it. Huh?
Yeah, no, I was going to touch on that. Could you go back down to that paragraph, that last one that you just read? Right. She mentioned the risk of currency substitution and capital flow volatility. Right. That's why you see all of these various other CBDCs. And I wouldn't even really say that they're CBDCs. I would say that they're just cryptos. But the crypto coins like the Bitcoin, all of these various Coinbase, these various cryptos that are pretty much being used as a way for people to exchange funds via a different exchange, they're pretty much being seen as a risk, and they're being X'd out in the global CBDCs. They're being enforced as a more secure, stable option for this unveiling of digital currency.
Mm-hmm. And that leaves the government with full control over everything, man.
Full control.
That's what it's about.
Zaquan, let's definitely play that Fed now. We can play that too.
Yeah, that's right on time. All right. I'm just looking at anything else I want to pull out here.
And I had a precept too as well.
Khan, you want to bring that out, or you want me to play that clip first?
I'll bring it out right now. Okay, Psalms 55 and 21, straight to the point. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords. So here it is, this devil, he's trying to, make this system seem to be of a benefit to the world, when all actuality is just into it's only for his benefit, man. Right? It's for him to be able to control you. It's for him to be able to exalt himself as the Most High, right? He's not doing this for the betterment of society.
Exactly.
If that was the case, the world wouldn't be in the condition that it is, man. You got to see it from a wise eye angle. You can't look at it like how the rest of the world sees it, like, oh my gosh, it's just another step forward for humanity. No, this is a very serious ordeal that's prophesied, man. Right? He's literally coming as the son of perdition, right? He's been revealed in these times to unveil a system that's going to promote the mark of the MOTB.
Yeah, he's getting ready to close on you.
Yep.
Right. He's getting ready to clamp down on your ass, man. Let me get this too before we hit that video. I'll pull it up real quick. All right. Let me get this. That's Revelation 12. You already know Revelation 12 and 12. Let's go there real quick. Excuse me. All right, this is Revelation 12 and verse 12. All right, Salaki, hey, read it for me. My page is ripped out.
I got you. Yeah. Revelations chapter 12 and verse 12. It reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time."
Yeah, that's the great wrath. Is what the chokehold, the mandates. All right, the pressure that he's about to put down. All right, as we're gonna play in this video right quick. The CEO of BlackRock, he goes into what the forced change and what these companies are gonna have to do, what they're gonna have to put upon the people. Just listen.
Yep.
Right, as the scripture we read, hey, though his words be smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Right, pay attention.
You now make a point of that's an investment criteria for you.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women. We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year, and what we are doing internally is, if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay, we're doing the same. And so it's just, you have to force behaviors, and if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said. And ultimately, it's still going to take time, but I am just as much shocked as Ken is that we have not seen more opportunities, and we're going to have to force change.
You have it. You can speak, brother.
Yeah, that what he was speaking on was back in 2017, and that was highlighting diversity, equality, and inclusion, which a lot of corporations they practice, and it also ties it into the ESG as well as the CEI. So the ESG is defined as the environmental, social, and governance, social and corporate governance, right? And it's pretty much broken down into 3 pillars again: environmental, social, corporate governance. But pretty much and the CEI, which is the corporate equality index. But pretty much this is tied into these corporations and them having to abide by whatever the status quo of society is, right?
Yes.
That's why he was speaking on inclusion, right? He was speaking about gender. He was speaking about race. And ultimately, he wanted to say whatever, because ultimately, these corporations, they don't abide by anything that's benefiting the environment. They don't benefit anything for society. They don't benefit anything for the governing of the people, right?
Right.
They're pretty much curtailing the masses of these companies to fit their narrative of what they want to be promoted to the masses of the people, right? Take, for instance, the abundant promotion of the alphabet gang, right?
Right.
The abundant promotion of BLM, right? And soon to be, or even with what happened with the juice, right?
Yep.
There were companies that made that the thing, like, look, you have to take this if you want to work with me, right? And that's going to be a coercion that they're going to use in the near future with the implantable device.
Yep. Play this real quick. You still there out?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay,
That
Con.
was the point.
Con. All right. Let's make that point on that, man. Because hold that Revelation 13 and 16 too. So we're gonna make that point. We're gonna just fill in what the brothers explaining here. All right, the ESGs, right? And these corporate companies have to abide by, like the brother was saying, of what is being promoted throughout society. That's why you're seeing a influx of all this alphabetical bullshit in the stores, certain companies, man, because they're being pressed by the elite to forward this stuff, man. All right, to keep their companies afloat, so to speak. He's going to get into it, right? And it's going to be the same thing when they really put the pressure on for society to accept that implantable device.
Okay, where this all comes from ultimately, I think, is again the problem. Money corrupts. Money is the root of all evil, and right now we're in a position where the global banking system, which is far removed from even anything you and I can really understand, how credit works and how there's $400 trillion worth of paper that surrounds the bond markets. It's all just, it's an illusion. In order to keep the control, we have to utilize this at every single moment. We have to use it as a wedge for everything. And all of these companies are nothing more than a part of that system. They are the money flows through everything, and most of it's advertising based. All of Silicon Valley is a hits business. Instead of caring what their users want, they want hits. So they'll acquire hits. Oh, this YouTuber's great. We're going to help hook him up. This podcast is great. We're going to give him 60, 80, $100 million. No offense, but it's hits business. They're buying hits, not doing anything more than that. And if you don't play along, you're going to lose your income overnight. So ESG, have you heard of this?
No.
Environmental.
I feel like I should have a drink. Want to have a drink?
I'd love a drink,
We need
especially
a
when
drink.
they get into ESG.
This is too intense.
No, but the
Tell,
ESG is fascinating.
Bring some glasses in.
So ESG, and this is now something that if you want to invest in a company, they will, on their investor relations page, they'll show you their ESG score. ESG stands for environmental, social, corporate governance. And this is where the woke culture comes from. So they've created this kind of phony baloney rating system that says, well, if you, I'm exaggerating, but if you mention that you are, have a green agenda and you believe in carbon credits and you might trade some credits somewhere, then you get a higher score and therefore you're more investable. And it's very interesting to see how big investors like insurance company, institutional investors, they are steering away from anything that does not have the right ESG rating. And so in order to have investors continue to be interested in the stock, which is important for the company, for its perception, certainly for the officers of the company and the shareholders, you have to move this along continuously. And so it's very simple to see why doing a woke ad as Nike or as any other company, and Pride Month is fantastic because Pride is easy. Throw up some flags, show the right people, trans, whatever, and you get a high ESG score. And so
can you stop that right there?
That is being
Baba
used.
Kusha.
Yeah, you got
That's why they be drunk. That's why they throw Jake's stupid ass at the front of everything, man.
Yes.
All of this madness. Why? Because you are the most you're the most oppressed. You Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're always at the forefront of these campaigns, right? You think these niggas really care about you? No.
Mm-hmm.
They doing this for their gain, for their profits, so that they can have their profit margins where it needs to be, man. These people don't care about you when you see equality and inclusion, diversity. Nah, you're nothing more than just a cash cow.
Yep, pawn.
You're being exploited. Your simplicity is exploiting you niggas, man. Thinking that these fucking people really care about you.
Gone. And like you said, man, these companies that don't play ball, you know, they're not promoting the wokeism, the alphabeticalism, right? If they're not promoting that great reset narrative, all right, they're gonna have a low ESG score, basically a low social credit score, if you will.
Exactly.
You know? And this is what's coming into play with these companies, but it also is going to come into play to common people. That's what the whole social credit score is. So if you're go ahead, Axelaki.
No, just to add to your point, you said it's going to come into the commoners, right?
Right.
You had Klaus Schwab on record saying what the image of what they envision for this new world is pretty much being done in China.
Right.
Right. Just to add to your points, Aquan. Just wanted
and this is where we're at. So if you're not in line with the current system, you're going to be cast out, right? You're not going to be able to move around. You see what I'm saying? This is where it's all getting to, man. That social credit score, it's all going to be tied to that digital blockchain internet of things. You know, this is what it's all going. This is where we're leading. This is what we're leading into. This is the new system, right? Let's play on.
Out all corporations worldwide, and I don't even think it's stoppable. People are just starting to figure out what's going on. That's where all this is coming from. Nike doesn't give a fuck about black people that way. I don't believe it. They care about their stock price. Of course, individually, there's people who care. There's no doubt about it. But it's driven by ESG. It is it kind of started with the DEI, the diversity, equity, inclusion. That has now moved over to, and you can look it up, SASB, the SASB. That's the Board of Standards and Statistics for Corporations, and they have this formula how you measure your ESG score and if you're really investable. And it's funny because you'll see like Nike has a 75% score. Tesla, which you'd think would be really good, 38. Because not woke enough, or Elon says the wrong things, so it's actually harder to invest.
If you could stop right there.
Not woke enough, god damn, right?
Hey, and that shit is true, like, because just various conversations that I'll have at work. You know what I'm saying? Like when the whole ordeal happens with Elon Musk and he goes and says certain things. Investors, private investors, they'll be like, shit, he's tripping, And when those conversations would be had, I'd be like, damn, like, what you mean he's tripping? Like, I mean, it's a great business, but this is giving clarity to why you see these businesses that are so gung-ho to promote certain agendas, certain things in the system, because they're getting their funding, they're getting this backing from what they're able to promote. Of course, Tesla, Tesla's going to be Tesla. It's going to do what it do, right? But that ESG score is real. It really does show an effect on how these corporations are able to, pretty much have a value in the stock market.
Right. Hey, look what happened to Kanye when he started talking too much. He was speaking against the corporate interest, right? The people who control shit, man. They were the ones that were funding them, giving them money. So you see, they pretty much took his funds away. Kyrie Irving and many others that speak against the status quo. And you see what happens to them. So these corporations clearly have an agenda that they have to push. It's all set up by design. All right, we'll play a little bit more. Are we gonna play the whole thing or just play a little bit more?
I'll just play a little bit more.
Gotcha.
Just to the point where he mentions the credit score.
Con.
Below ESG score.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, this is some. I'm just really learning about this myself.
How did you find out about this ESG stuff?
Kidneys, brother.
Kidneys?
You don't remember that joke?
No.
Holy shit, you're my age.
No, what is the joke from?
It's an old joke. It's like some moronic kid in school, figured it out, and then it's like that
Was
joke.
that joke on?
That was when I was in 3rd grade.
Oh, like a joke?
Yeah, like
Joke,
yeah,
Like two Jews walking to a bar, that kind of a joke?
yeah, only less offensive.
Is that offensive? Well, the Jews joke is they buy it. Two Jews walking to a bar, they buy
Yeah,
it.
boom
That's-
shakalaka.
Yeah, it's not.
So this ESG stuff is really being utilized to control society in general, and Twitter has to adhere to the same thing.
And they're using it as a method to maximize profits because people will support companies that are woke because it aligns with their own personal values. So the companies
I wouldn't
espouse
say profits. I would say shareholder value.
Okay.
That's a little different than profit.
Why? What is the difference between profit and shareholder
Well, this is
value?
so currently, if you are a CEO and you have a board and everyone has stock and all your C-suite people and your important people all have shares, and the way the mechanism works, all right, we have the Federal Reserve and interest rate is at 0. So big companies can go to any bank and literally Federal Reserve is a bank too and say, I need $100 billion. And they're going to give it to me for almost 0%, because what we pay on credit card interest or something, that's not what banks pay. They pay almost nothing. So they get that free money and then they buy back their stock. Buying back their stock makes the price rise. Everybody who has stock wins. That has been going on for a long time. That's the number one way of getting really rich in a public company.
That's
Apple,
pretty much the point.
this was the thing when Trump had his repatriation.
Con. Yep.
If I could just get a quick precept right quick.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Sirach 5:15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small.
Mm-hmm.
So when we see these various companies, that are pushing and promoting, this direction of blatant Satanism, right? The alphabet community, whatever it is that they're promoting, you have an understanding now as to when you go in the grocery store, you go anywhere and you see this madness that's being promoted, right? You're now privy to understand that it's a deeper web behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the point in which we're trying to make with this lesson with the corporate coercion, right? The same way how they use this to enforce these various practices it's going to go ahead and be used for the digital transition. Make no doubt of that, man.
Con.
They're going to utilize this coercion to enforce the people to accept the digital payment, to accept the charagma.
Yep. Like they use the coercion, like you mentioned, like they used the coercion for the JAB.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, all the companies was on board. Everybody was pushing it hardcore. It's going to be the same thing with the device. Okay. It's going to be a force. Like he was saying, what was the dude from Black Rock saying? He said, we're going to have to force. He kept repeating, we're going to have to force change. We're going to have to force behavior. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Right. Get that at Revelation 13.
I got it. This is Revelations chapter 13 and verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Yep. Get that word for causative.
God. The word calls it the Strong's G 4160. It jumping down to definition 1, sub G 1, it says to make, i.e. constitute or appoint one thing, to appoint or ordain one.
You can speak, bro.
Con. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to pass legislation to constitute the usage of this charagma, right? Because as we see, it's being promoted blatantly, right? We went here with the article pertaining to the IMF, right? Working hard to establish a global central bank digital currency, right? We went into the executive order 14067, right? Signed into law by Joe Biden in 2022, right? We understand that the FedNow program is being unveiled in July of this literally next month.
Yep.
Shit, literally next week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So everything is being established and set into motion to unveil a system where this charagma is going to be institutionalized.
Mm-hmm.
right? This charagma is a very intricate part of this man's system that he's planning to unveil.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to do so by his legislation, by him constituting and writing things into motion to where all of you people, right, that don't hearken unto the message, speaking of you Israelites that don't hearken unto the message, are going to walk down and take, right? Because if I may just grab that right quick, Baba Kushal.
You got it.
You know, if you aren't hearkening unto the message of the prophets, if you're not hearkening unto the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you're not going to have any covering in the hour of temptation.
That's right.
Right? Revelations 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And that hour of temptation is when this man is going to unveil the charagma. All right, that is the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay, because this is going to be, again, it's going to be a part of this man's institution, right? This is a vital part of him trying to exalt himself as the Most High, right? Him being able to, as the scriptures say, he's going to think to reach the fullness of his sufficiency, right? This is what he envisions, you know. And if Salakia.
No, go ahead, Salakia, my bad.
Now I was going to say, if you aren't hearkening unto this word, then you're not going to have any protection. Mm-hmm. You're not going to have any protection. You're not going to have any stability, right? To keep you sane when all hell breaks loose, and you have no other options except for that implantable device. Because again, remember, Esau is the one that's creating the chaos in order to establish this order.
That's right.
He's going to coerce you to accept his plans. And unless you have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai dealing with you, you're not going to be protected, man.
Right. See, this is what these other camps are not explaining to you. They're not making this plain upon tables, as I'm gonna read in a second. Give me that definition of coercion again, one more time, man.
I got you. You want it right now?
Yeah, right now, Babu Kusha.
Coercion from the Free Dictionary says power or ability to coerce, government by force, force someone's hand, to pressure someone into taking a stand, to compel someone to act immediately and against his will, to put the squeeze on, to pressure another for one's own purpose, to demand payment or performance by means of harassment or threats.
There you go, man. Esau's about to strong arm the planet Earth, man, by the means of this device.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's gonna put the pressure upon the planet Earth. All right. If you wanna participate in this new system, there's requirements. There's things that you got to do. You're gonna have to sell out, man. You know, you're gonna have to become a part of this beast. This is the image that's speaking, man, loud and clear. All right. This is Habakkuk chapter 2. Verse 2, it says, "And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, answered me and said, write the vision, which is the prophecies, and make it plain upon tables." All right, I want to get this word plain. I'm sorry. Get this word for plain. Right? No, Salaki. Let me finish. Let me read it again. It says, "And the Lord," this is Habakkuk 2:2. "And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." All right, that word "run" in the blue letter goes into to read without difficulty, man. So the true prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai are giving you complete understanding, plain understanding of what's about to happen.
Right.
There should be no confusion concerning the MOTB and the transition of this beast system, this image that's being pushed. Right, the understanding is being made plain, man. This is the desires of the wicked. Okay, it says, verse 3, Habakkuk 2:3 says, "For the vision, the prophecies, is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry," and it's here. Okay, it's here in your face now. It's not tarrying anymore. Esau's boldly letting you know that, look, he plans to enslave your ass. He plans to be God over you through this technology, through this device, by the means of science. He said, hey, what did the devil just say? Health will win. Right? Come on, man. You got it.
Now I got a precept just to back that up.
Con.
Micah chapter 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Mhm.
Okay, so we understand, all right, pursuant to Job 9 and 24, what that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, right? So as the wicked will do, they're going to work evil, right? They have the power to practice this evil, to enforce this plan upon the masses of the world, right? So with that understanding, right, how should you approach this? Seeking the Lord. Every pillar of this man's system that Jake is trying to run outside of this truth, you're not going to have any protection from this man when he really rolls down with this program.
Mhm.
All right. And again, just tying it into what Zaquan was speaking on, right? This understanding, it should be no debate about what's going on right now, man. The MOTB is the Coercion. It's the implantable device.
Right.
All right. There's no gray area. There's no, it could be this, it could be that. No. The prophecy that was seen by John the Revelator, right, on the Isle of Patmos, it's this implantable device that's being used right now.
Right.
That's being prepared to be unveiled to the world right now.
Mm-hmm. That's this. He saw this medical system coming into play.
Yep.
Under the guise of health, right? He saw all of this, man. Like Elder Apostle Hart was bringing out in one of his lessons. He saw people getting the MOTB. He saw like he said, in order to get it, it has to be surgically put inside the body. So he saw, he was breaking it down. It was heavy. He was saying that how he saw the surgical team put the device in the body. You know what I'm saying? All in the name of science, all in the name of medicine or whatnot, man. That's this system that's speaking. This what do you call it? The biometrics, the biometrics that's going to be put inside the body. He was seeing all of this, man. This system coming into play, which is a modernization of a digital enslavement, man. That's what's happening, and that's why he said here is wisdom. He that have wisdom have the ability to count the number of the beast, which is the number of a man, going back to the man of sin, the Edomite. All right. As we just listened to through these videos here, how they plan on being God over humanity, man. He's put himself up, going back to his pride. Matter of fact, let me get that in Isaiah 14, right? Just to add on to that 2 Thessalonians you read earlier. This is it's Isaiah 14 and 13. It says, "For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High," which is the 12 tribes. All right. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. All right. So Esau is still ruling over Jacob in this very day. Right. But he plans on what he really wants is what? He wants your mind. He wants your soul, man. Okay. Now, and his means of doing that is by putting this device inside the brain, the right hand, really anywhere in the body, if you want to be technical, man. But the main goal is to what? To defile the Lord's woman. All right. This is what he plans to do. Okay. He plans on, instead of making the world bow down to the idol, he's going to put the idol inside the body.
Yep.
Right. That's how he's going to be able to control your very essence, your very being, man. All right. So the plans of these devils is diabolical, but Jake thinks this is just some fucking science fiction shit, man. This is the real deal, man. This devil has the power on the left hand. He's a worker of falsehood, man. You had anything up? I got one more if you don't.
That's it.
Right. So let's wrap it with this. Go to 2 Ezra 15 and just read down to 1 through 3 just to make the point.
Okay. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Yep.
And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Yep. All these words that are written throughout the scriptures are faithful and true. Go ahead.
Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Yeah, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So if you don't believe, hey, so have at it, man. For what if some did not believe? Right? That's on you.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Continuing on, verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Yep. For all the unfaithful shall die in the unfaithfulness. So if you don't believe, hey, too bad. Okay. Hey, we believe. Hey, the Lord gave us the spirit to see. Right? Because many are going to be, hey, as it tells you in Proverbs, the first chapter, many of our people are going to be destroyed in their simplicity. This is why we said if a nigga can't see it, hey, the brothers did the lesson, Elder Manat Zabah, many other brothers did the lesson about, hey, we washing our hands. Right? We've told you time in and time out, man, of what it was, how it was going to go down, and it's playing exactly how the scripture said it was going to play, man. All right? Give me one more. I'll go to Revelation 22 straight to the point. All right, Revelation 22 and get get verse 10 and 11. That'll be it.
Revelation 22 and 10. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand.
The time is at hand, the time of the end, the time of judgment, destruction, and the salvation of the Lord's elect. That's the time that's at hand, Jake. Nothing else matters right now, man. All right, go ahead.
He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he that which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
All right, that's plain Jane. Right? He that is filthy, let him be filthy. If you don't believe, you got discrepancies with the prophecies, you don't agree. All right, with certain scriptures, you just can't see it, Ak. I just can't see it. It's the see it, brother. You know, hey, if that's the spirit the Lord put on you, hey, then so be it then, man. You got it figured out. Okay, then. Him that is filthy, let him be filthy still, but him that is righteous, let him be righteous still. The ones that can receive it, that see it plainly, that understand what this is, all right, that see this, that see the war that's coming, and man, just to continue to keep the faith, man. Continue to believe, man. All right, because we're all getting ready to bite down, man. Okay, that's the straight gate that's coming, man. Okay, the bitter that's unfolding, right? We getting ready to go through that battle. So if a nigga can't get it, hey, we moving on, man. At the end of the day, right? That's all we can really say, man. It's been broken down to you. It's been made painfully plain, Jake. Right? You got anything else, brother?
No, sir.
That's it, man. So we're gonna leave it like that. You know, this is the corporate coercion and the digital transition of payments, man. This is where we at concerning this man's system. So any day now, we're looking for that event that's going to change the course of life and humanity itself, man. All right, which is the prophecies, you know. So with that, you know, we pray that this live lesson was edifying, man. You know, it was a lot that we spoke about, but Lord willing, it was received by the hopeful elect that's out there, man. So we're going to close it out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught us his truth. And double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right.